Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. So, here's a fundamental of the profundity of the 3,000 realms in a single thought moment. Again, letting go of the numbers, understanding that the numbers are just there to illustrate the incomprehensibility of this activity of constant formation into form, moment to moment to moment. Remember we talked, how long is a moment? Excruciatingly tiny, yeah? But that's how, with excruciatingly tiny, I spit that out, even though one after another eventually amounts to bigger units of time, existence, space. However, if you understand that that's what we're in the midst of, experiencing, this incalculable momentum of energies that we're barely superficially conscious of, observing of, witnessing, then Shakyamuni drives the point home even further, saying, well, as I say here in the foreword, to put even finer point on this, Shakyamuni then states that this nature of all phenomena is nothing new. That's since time without beginning, right? This whole expression of the universe and all of the time/space it represents, our tiny little part in it. What we have is a sentience, an ability to witness, really kind of too late. We witness the process long after, if you calculate in those moments, long after, many, many, many moments after it has expressed itself. So this is what Shakyamuni is wanting to identify, wanting us to pay attention to. Because if we're hopelessly behind the formations, then it's of critical importance that we get involved with those formations. And the key to that is to not be so adhered to something that's already done, gone. It's happened. You can't change that. That's just an influence on this moment. So our focus needs to be on, what am I doing with this moment, this series of moments, because I can't perceive a moment, toward better moments, more life-affirming moment, more joy, more construction, more health, more happiness, more good stuff. How do I influence the next moments with the moments I'm now experiencing? How do I influence this momentum? I can't influence this momentum by staying stuck in all the worrying about moments that are gone. That's where all our attachments are. Oh, I have all this stuff. No, you don't have anything. That's residual. What you have is this moment that you're experiencing now. What are you doing with it? Reattaching it to the past. Why? This is suffering. Do you see that? This is the import of this 3,000 realms in a single thought moment. When we chant, we're breaking that attachment. When we chant, we're committing ourselves to this moment, into the next, into the future. O sons of a... Well, I'll finish saying what I was saying. That the only shattering of this insight occurs to those to whom the illusions of possessions and machinations has obfuscated their own enlightenment. Why do I say that? Because by remaining enamored, attached, paying attention to those previous moments. That's holding on to, identifying with stuff that is no longer living because those moments have passed. You get in the way of your own enlightenment. You can't grow. You can't see into your path. Where are you going? Doesn't matter because I have all this. You're halting the expression of your life. So contrary to the magical thinking of, say, religions, that we're somehow constructing a brilliant future by staying attached and enamored to the past, that's such nonsense. To Shakyamuni, it became obvious. To anyone who experiences that aha, that awakening, that enlightenment, Buddha-ness, that's what Buddha is about. Not the man. Buddha, the consciousness of the moment and the way it leads into, affects, influences the next moments. It's about what you're doing and being, not what you've done and what you've been. O sons of a virtuous family, the lifespan that I have attained through practicing the Bodhisattva path has not yet expired. And I want to point out, these are Shakyamuni's words. It's translations, many languages through, but this is something I've said many times, and I've raised many eyebrows saying this, that although in Shakyamuni's time and long thereafter, even Shakyamuni himself adopts this fallacy that he is Buddha. He adopts it because people are so attached to it. They identify Buddha-ness with Shakyamuni. This is a grotesque error. And until you get to the Lotus Sutra, even though he's explored this and it said other words are used like Tathagata, nobody calls him Shakyamuni Tathagata. Tathagata is a different mind, a different idea of knowing, yes? Experiential. In this sentence, Shakyamuni identifies himself as practicing the Bodhisattva path. Shakyamuni was a Bodhisattva. Now, Nichiren's a Bodhisattva, but they have different missions, although the same. Nichiren's Bodhisattva mission, just as yours and mine, right? Nichiren says, emulate my life. We're following Nichiren's example. Doing what? We're discovering Buddha-ness every day. Little by little, we influence our lives toward the Bodhisattva life, living with that Buddha insight as consistently, as honorably as we can, moment to moment. How many of us have done that? You attain Buddha-ness in front of your Butsudan. In your practice, you think about it during the day, occasionally, but do you stay in that wondrous achievement of understanding the momentum of life, not only yours now, but as a Bodhisattva, witness it in everything. Other people, certainly, but in everything. Do you? It's not easy. Our samsaric mind, our samsaric identity It's just so powerful. So powerful that it's responsible for the expressions of the entire universe. So it's no small thing. And we're not trying to get rid of it or defeat it. We're simply trying to rise above it, to witness this driving energy, momentum, instantiating itself time and time, moment to moment to moment. It changes perception of everything when you see that as your basis for perception, right? So Shakyamuni is a bodhisattva whose mission it is to explore, enable, raise the capacities, raise the mind's capacity of those in his day and afterward to seek, find, and practice this Buddha-ness, this Tathagata. Now, Nichiren shares that mission, but Nichiren's mission is different because Shakyamuni's already done it. Nichiren, or anyone else for that matter, doesn't need to reinvent it. Right? The watering trough has already been made. Our bodhisattva mission is to bring people to it so that they can emulate Shakyamuni's ultimate teaching, how you do this for yourself. Nichiren added some components to make it more accessible, but he didn't invent it. He says that on and on. I've read several letters where he makes that obvious. The great insight, the bodhisattva behavior of Nichiren, is that he gave us a tool, because of our incredibly distracted minds, a tool to focus on that very thing that Shakyamuni was teaching so that we can penetrate quickly this entire teaching of moment-to-moment existence influencing into the next. Take control of the momentum of the energies that are our life experience. Be with those moments and influence those moments into the future to express themselves fully, maximally, without the encumbrance of the past attachments, emotions, so on and so forth. Shakyamuni's already taught that. He's already established that. Nichiren is taking us to it and giving us some tools to do exactly what Shakyamuni was teaching in the Lotus Sutra. And here he is saying it himself. The lifespan I first attained, the lifespan of the Tathagata. The lifespan he, Shakyamuni, first attained isn't Shakyamuni's lifespan. The lifespan that I first attained through practicing the Bodhisattva path has not yet expired. He's talking about Tathagata-ness, the process, not himself. The lifespan he's attained, he's witnessed, he sees, is without time. It's not him. It's this lifetime, this expression of being. It's the universe itself. It's subtle, but the language just glides right by it, doesn't it? Unless you have the insight to see it, you miss it. But whatever language is written in, it comes through if you're looking for it, if you see without attachment to the I and the being, and right? It is twice as great as the number of previously mentioned, although, which is, do you remember that number? The grains of worlds passing, it's unfathomable, right? Now he's saying it's twice as long as that, by the way. Although I do not actually enter parinirvana, I proclaim that I do. Which I is he using there? Tathagata-ness doesn't die. It's the process itself. But he, Shakyamuni, claims he is dying. He, Shakyamuni, not he, Tathagata, not what he has attained, just his fragile human body. I wish there was a way to better translate that because it is confusing. It's confusing if you're an initiate, if you're starting out, this language seems very familiar. But as you deepen your knowledge of what Buddhism is, what we're accomplishing, what we're trying to accomplish, this reads very differently, doesn't it? Same words, but with insight. Oh. It is through this skillful means that the Tathagata, not Buddha, the Tathagata leads and inspires sentient beings. That's a very important sentence. What Shakyamuni is saying, in essence, is this Tathagata process that is the entire universe, that is the process of instantiation. It has no time limits. It has no time reference. The only one referencing time is you. And the way samsaric minds tend to reference time is through owning things, like footsteps. You would never make the mistake, would you, of walking through mud or the snow, let's pick something nice and white, because of its crystalline, light-reflecting nature, and look back on your footsteps and go, there I am, there I am. No. You are where you are. And what's most interesting is when you turn forward and you look at that pristine snow and you're about to commit to a next step. That's what we're trying to do with our minds. Stay in the beautiful crystalline snow, moving forward safely into the next moment. Right? You wouldn't take a massive dump truck and a backhoe and collect your footsteps from the past and keep that truck driving next to you until it filled up and then got another one. How ridiculous would that be, just to feel secure in your being? That's what we do with life. It's nonsense. And I intercede again. And here Shakyamuni describes the human physical manifestation as a vehicle for realization, the central reason for human life and a sentient mind to exist at all is to realize the true nature of phenomena and assist other sentient minds to make this realization for themselves. Bodhisattva. So the lifespan chapter, which is what we're in the middle of, continues. Why is this? Because if the Buddha abides a long time in this world, those who have few qualities do not plant roots of good merit, acquire poor and superficial characters, are attached to the desires of the five senses, and enter into the web of illusions and false views. If they see the Tathagata always existing without extinction, then they become proud, self-willed, and negligent. They then become proud, self-willed, and negligent. The thought that the Buddha is difficult to meet and that he is to be respected cannot awaken in them. That is why the Tathagata teaches through skillful means, saying, O monks, you should know that the appearance of the Buddhas in the world is very difficult to encounter. Why is this? Because some of those with little merit may not see the Buddha during the passage of immeasurable hundreds of thousands of myriads of kotis of kalpas. For this reason, I say, O monks, it is difficult to meet the Tathagata. You see the terms keep flipping around here? Because in the lifespan chapter, Shakyamuni is working very hard to entreat the attention of all of his students for some 40 years or so. He says, this is what you're attached to, me, Buddha, but I am not Buddha. Buddha is something I've attained. What I've attained, let's call it something else. Let's call it Tathagata. I don't own that. That's not mine. I didn't manifest that singularly. Tathagata is something that's without time. It's here, it's in you, it's in a rock, it's in everything. You just need to wake up to it. You're seeking an identity by collecting things, identifying things to identify yourself. Well, let me redress your self-identification as that very momentum of energy that is pushing into the future, not your past footsteps. Look at the sublime that you're moving into. It's really that simple. Not so easy to accomplish in our mind of attachments, yeah? Longing and yearning for Tathagata, the Buddha, they will plant roots of good merit. For this reason, although the Tathagata does not really pass into existence because it's always existing, he nevertheless says he does. He does. You're identifying me as that experience. Let me assure you, I am not that experience. It abides. It's already, you're a manifestation of it. So I'm going to leave now. I'm going to disappear. I'm extinct. What are you going to do? Oh God, the Buddha's gone. No, the Buddha is not gone. The Buddha is this, it's for you to manifest. Tathagata-ness. The first word of a baby when it's born, tata. It knows. Furthermore, O sons of a virtuous family, the teaching of all the Buddha Tathagatas is exactly like this. Another bomb. All those other Buddhas that I've talked about in these stories, including Amida Buddha, you Nembutsu followers out there, all these other Buddhas, they're the instantiation, there's the encompassing the personages I've put to this Tathagata. It's all the same. It is entirely true, never false, all for the sake of saving sentient beings, sentient minds. Saving, could use a better word for that. Emancipating sentient minds, releasing sentient beings from their attachment to the past. You're moving at hundreds of thousands of kilometers per second. Whether you're sitting there on your couch or not, doesn't matter. You're flying through time. And this is Shakyamuni's true bodhisattva nature in the world or physical realm of the triple realms of this universe or engine of life. Then, we'll close on the triple world definition from the glossary. The triple world, the three realms of samsaric existence in which living beings transmigrate as a result of their karma, the momentum of life. Yeah. 1, the realm of desire, kamadhatu, the world of ordinary consciousness accompanied by desires. This is what instantiates the whole universe, including you and I. This incessant amalgam of energies just wants to continue. That's the momentum. That's the kinetics of being. It's just a very rudimentary energy. Right? You drop a pebble into a lake, it doesn't just plop and nothing happens. It plops and then it radiates the energy of that transmigration from dry to wet to, right, from air to water. And that energy is dispersed through rings out and ripples out into the lake. It keeps going. That Shakyamuni identifies as desire. The energy wants to move throughout the lake. That implies consciousness, though, and that's not what we're talking about at that level. We're just talking about the rudiments of energy manifesting. That's just what it does. The second, the realm of form, rapadhatu, in which desires have been eliminated, but the physical body remains. Interesting. So the rock has come to rest on the bottom of the lake. The ripples have dispersed through time-space. And now we just have a rock on the bottom of the lake. When you're a young person, your sexual drive is all-encompassing. Your hormones, everything is racing for you to instantiate a new copy, a new instantiation of self. Yeah, it's a selfish act. That's the nature of desire. And when all is said and done and the child is born, now you got to deal with a whole new thing. It's not the same, is it? Not the same as the energies and obsessions that drove you to intercourse. So that first obsession, that's the first realm, world. The second is the result from that. And the third, the formless realm, arupyadhatu, in which the physical body no longer exists. That life runs its course. Your life runs its course. And you disassemble, dissolve. Like all things in the universe, you arise, you abide for a while as you decay, and then you are extinct. No more. Same's going to happen to your offspring. Different timeline, same thing. That's the triple world of samsaric existence. Now you can just go along and be part of that process. Many do, many have. But what if, in the midst of that process, you could rise above it? Wow, this is amazing. I could actually influence amidst all of that triple world, I could influence the direction, the momentum. I could experience the totality of it for the amazing process that it is. Instead of being bogged down in, we need another box of diapers. Does it make sense? I'm not saying it's easy. When you really start to dissect what this attachment, this samsaric nature is, it can be quite overwhelming. And this is why we need to chant. This is why we chant to awaken that Buddha-ness, the Tathagata. So that with that mind of understanding, of knowing, Buddha wisdom, we can experience these samsaric things in their appropriate nature. Release ourselves from the stress and anxiety of things and see them clearly as manifestations of this amazing life energy. Now I'm going to get into Tendai. So we just read the lifespan chapter and talked about it. Nichiren's inspiration for understanding the 3,000 realms in a single thought moment. Now we're going to jump backwards in time to Tendai and see how he spoke about this very same phenomena. Phenomena of phenomena. I don't know, there must be a better word, yeah? But we'll leave that for the next video. I've reached my 30-minute threshold. I'm trying to make shorter videos this year. Just because I understand you have things to do, you have a life to live, but I don't want to cut it so short that I don't make meaningful statements useful to encourage you. That's what this whole resource is about, to keep your confidence and your resolve up so that you practice. And that's ultimately what my greatest sense of responsibility and gratitude is for your practice. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe, not to satisfy my ego, but to help the algorithms of YouTube make our resource more available to others. It's a bodhisattva act. Those of you who are able to support these resources, this channel, the podcast, the website, threefoldlotus.com, the bookstore, the mandala store, through Patreon or directly to PayPal, I don't know how to thank you other than to keep doing this, to do it to the best of my ability. But certainly, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're essential for me to keep doing this and to somehow, if I can find ways to improve it, do so. I'm thinking of the ebooks page on threefoldlotus.com right now, making these teachings of Nichiren's and Shakyamuni's and my own insights as available easily to our Sangha, which is worldwide. We're all over the world, my friends. And for some, I've come to realize, rather late in the game, that shipping books from a printer in Utah all over the world is not a cheap proposition. And as the cost of printing books gets higher and higher, then shipping that, let alone customs if there are any, and tariffs, oh my goodness, it just gets ridiculous how much something can cost. Now, I'm not a big electronic reader like Kindle and all that. I like physical books, but many of you have let me know, no, I'd rather read on my iPad or my this or that. So I finally woke up to you guys. Sorry it took so long, but now you can get very economical, easily attainable copies of these same books electronically, digital, either as PDFs or ebooks on threefoldlotus.com, on the ebook page, and it's right on the first page you land on threefoldlotus.com. There's a picture of one of the books I started the ebooks page with, and there's an ebooks button. You hit that, and you'll see a library already. There's a good dozen books on there that you can download, including the mandala itself. You can download, I think, as a PDF. So you can print it any size you need on whatever clean, non-distracting paper, whether it's rice paper or handmade paper or just white paper, good quality paper, and you can mount it on a board or whatever so it fits the butsudan that you have. It's got to be easy. It's got to be easy for you to get these tools and utilize them. That's Nichiren's whole goal. It was Shakyamuni's it was Siddhartha's entire goal, to make this self-practice easily found, practicable, and achievable for anyone. So I'm trying to emulate these guys. The ebooks is another step to make it very easy to attain, inexpensive, no shipping, none of that. You can get it immediately. So I'm kind of proud of finally waking up to doing that for you guys. Maybe I'm missing another opportunity. Let me know. I appreciate your participation. I appreciate your resolve, your practice, your patronage. Namo Myo Renge Kyo. Take care of your health. Please practice every day. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay? Bye for now. Myo.